Ladies and gentlemen, now I would request Mr. Mohan Lalwani to share stories and anecdotes of working with the legendary Subhash Ghosal and that era, which most of the industry professionals feel was an era of golden days of advertising in India, and Subhash Ghosal was known as God of advertising. Mr. Mohan Lalwani, please.
जितना बोलूँगा उतना कम होगा क्योंकि at the end of the day, what has been said about Mr. Ghoshal is something that nobody can ever deny. He was a man of complete self-determination. He was a man who actually put into practice things that he personally believed in. I don't think he learned it from the books. I don't think he learned it from anywhere else. I think he learned it because he wanted to know a lot of things about things he did not know. And one of the things that he did not know was Urdu. And because I went to a school in Hyderabad where Urdu was a very prevalent language, and since Mr. Ghoshal was very, very fond of learning languages, he had a very good fondness of understanding what each language meant, like not something more than Amiki Karibo, And at the end of the day, I told him, one day, sir, I used to have a lot of one-to-one relationship with this gentleman. And this exactly is what I'm going to say, what is not been printed, is not been talked about, it's my personal vendetta, my personal grievances, my personal likes and dislikes with him. He made me his stooge. And he understood me perfectly. And he didn't know how to use my talent if I had any. But I think he did his own stuff. So one day I told him, sir, मैं जब एक बस में जा रहा था हैदराबाद में, एक आदमी के पाँव कुंडल दिए मैंने. When I stamped on the feet of another gentleman, उसने कहा, अजी हजरत, आप तो बड़े गधे इंसान हैं. You know, when they abuse, and you abuse with dignity, and you use words in a language that is not known to most of us, Mr. Ghoshal was completely enthralled. From then on, I knew that I had this god of advertising in my grip, in a manner of speaking. So, time and again, things used to come about and so on and so forth. There was one big major conference happening in Agra, and he was organizing it. And I think, let me just see. Yeah, it was in 82, a symposium of excellence in Agra. Yeah? On the first day of the last session, after having some lot of daru and falana dikra, a whole lot of us got into Ivan Arthur's room, the gentleman he was mentioning. Ivan's room, and there was another Bengali lady, I think her name was Namita Ghosh. And there was a guy from British Market Research Bureau, and somebody from Lanka, and I don't remember the names. But Namita was the naughty woman in that room, and she prompted us to do something naughty. So, क्या करें? Sattar Khan को attack करें. Sattar Khan was a account planner. He took his job so seriously, that he would not allow any non-corporate language to be ever used. So Ivan and I plotted a plan. And we put together a scene where Ivan did the research. He found out that two Chinese women were staying opposite Sattar's room. And we plotted that we'd go and knock on the doors of each and run away from there. How stupid, how naive, how childish. But at the same time, we said, chalo yaar, karo usko. And then we knocked on each other's door, on the two doors. And Both the doors opened at the same time, and Ivan's room was right next door, so we kept it slightly ajar. And Satar was a T-plan man. JWT T-plan was a big scene, you know. T-plan, strategic planner. And the Chinese women were chop suey, you know, by and large. And they started bloody abusing each other, you know, thinking that both had tried to wake up the other. Satar was vehemently apologizing, saying, no, maine nahi kiya. This one, not like that. Next day, we saw Satar Khan sitting with Mr. Ghosal on a breakfast table, hands going, you, you know. मुझे पता चल गया कि मेरे बारे में और आइवन के बारे में कंप्लेंट चल रहा है. जब घोषाल साहब ने डिसाइड किया कि मैं लू में जाऊंगा तो मैंने बोला मैं भी जाऊंगा. I stood next to him and this is his words, exactly in quotes. सिंधी तूने रात में मस्ती की? So I said, gone, my job is gone. Satar Khan is going to take corporate action against me and I'm going to lose my job. And seriously, I was actually scared because to lose a job in JWT at that time was not my plan. But to do a strange and stupid thing like this on the instigation of after some daru was something that I thought I should not have done. And when the whole scene was happening in the morning in front of me, and when I was saying, Sir, मैंने मस्ती की, तेरे साथ कौन था? His words. Sir, Ivan. और कौन था? So कोई नहीं. Namita थी? Namita is Namita Ghosh who used to work with him in Calcutta. हाँ, so वो थी. This is the same Namita who had called him in a conference, earlier conference, and said, Sir, मैं आपके room में आऊँ क्या? And he caught her red-handed next day. He said, Namita, don't do this to me again. I know it was you. So the instinct that man had, besides managerial skills, besides running the companies well, besides doing, you know, all the great things that have been talked about here, were absolutely perfect in place. The second episode is a very strange episode. I used to stay in a HTA, JWT guest house. And in the guest house, there'll be a lot of visitors. Mostly, the union leaders will come there. And the union leaders were troubling the hell out of us. In a manner of speaking, Mr. Ghoshal thought, ye nahi ban raha hai, let's do something. He said, Sindhi, kuch kar yaar. So I said, sir, chhod dijiye mujhe, main karta hoon. After 15, 20 days of talking to these gentlemen in the house that they came and visited, the guest house, I was able to convince them to go and pav pado fire Mr. Ghoshal. I swear to God, this is the truth. What I did and I just treated them in a like manner. I said, पैसा नहीं है हमारे पास. तुम लोग पैसा दो हमको. आपको पैसे दूंगा मैं, तो कंपनी नुकसान में जाएगी. तो क्यों कर रहे हो ये सब? जब कंपनी की प्रॉस्पेरिटी आएगी तो हम आपको पैसा बांटेंगे. तो हमारी सबकी नौकरी बरकरार रहेगी. You know, these are the incidents that, you know, make me feel the God in him was here. The God in him was in the mirth that he had, the fun that he played, the tricks that he did, the manner in which he understood people. I think nobody would have ever encountered God like the way we encountered. Thank you, sir. Rest in peace. Love you so much and keep in touch with us from there to here.